Okay, we are going to be making our shard block here. And the first step is to take our section D and put section D together. So this is put together like you typically would put together, say, a Maltese cross. And what we're going to do is we will sew these pieces here together. And when we sew these together, the most important thing to do is match the points here. And you may end up with a little extra fabric here at the edge, depending upon how you trimmed it. So the first step here, sewing these edges together. Now, when you get to the end, what you may notice is that the point that you had trimmed out there, so that funky point, should be right about where your needle is going. That way you know you're on the right track. So here's what I mean. See where that point is? That's where our seam is. That's what those little points are for, just in case you didn't know. So I'm going to sew the next one together, and we're going to press this open, and we're going to continue to press our seams all in the same direction here. So our seams are already going this way, so we're going to press this one. The blue is going to go toward the white, which is unusual, but we want to make sure we're pressing our seams all the same direction. Now that we have these two pieces, we flip them together, and this is where, because you've pressed all your seams the same direction, like we mentioned earlier, these should nest well together. So you want to nest these together, matching your seams or matching your raw edges up. And now we're going to start sewing. Whoops, provided I get this right. We're going to start sewing from the center. And when we sew from the center, we're going to make sure that our seam here, this little piece right here, that our point, that we're starting our seam below that point. This is important to make sure you have a crisp point. So I'm going to start it right here. Sew this edge out. And then we're going to flip it and turn it and go the other way. Okay. And again, watch your points, making sure you start here below where that intersection occurs. Keeping our edges aligned. Now we'll be able to open it up and see how beautiful those points look. Aren't they gorgeous? The next step is spinning the seam. So you want to make sure on this side, and you may need to pull your seam ripper out, and we'll zoom in here so you can see this. So you may need to do this and pull a little bit of it out so it lays super, super flat. Because the flatter you can get that to lay, the flatter your block will lay. So when you spin your seams, all your seams will end up going the same direction, as you can see here. So I'm going to press this, and once I press this, it will look like this one. Then we add our corner pieces. Adding these corner pieces is a little tricky, but not too bad. What you would like to make sure you do is match your points up. So you're going to see where these 2 points are, and you're going to match them up as best you can. I find folding them this way works well, because you can see you can almost lay your seams on top of each other, and then your edge is right. And you'll note that your upper corner here should match pretty much. That cutout you did should match right there. So we're going to stitch through here, making sure we stitch below this point. Making sure we also have a needle threaded. Minor technicality here. We'll fix this. just so you know that we all make mistakes. Or all have stuff happen to us. Go. So we want to start our seam here. Make sure you're aiming just below that point. And pull this over. You'll note this may or may not match. You want to get as close as you can. And now we're going to repeat for the other 3 sides. We've sewn our 4 corners on. Now we will press them. And once we press them, we should have a beautiful block that looks like this.